Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. It's the Thursday edition, and those who went on leave are still not back, but those who didn't go on leave, those you see on Thursday, did me the favor and they came to work today. Like I was practically like keeping my fingers crossed and say, thank God, let them go. Thank God, let them go. She won't disappoint. I think she has had all the time to cook Christmas chicken and all that. Possibly the car has some coolers, I'm just wondering, Shabo, it's better we ask, since it's what we've been doing all week, asking people what they brought back from the New Year, at least for those of us who have been working, My name is Oluwatobisi, and you get to see Tom Derele this morning back on the show. First time, 2023.
Yes, good morning. Tommy saying it's so good to be back on the show. I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year. Welcome to the year 2023 and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Bumper Breakfast Show. My name is Tom Aderile. It's such a delight to be here this morning, and I'm sure we have a bumper package.
Yeah, we
today.
Do. That we sure do.
I'm excited to be here.
And I'm not the only one that will be doing the talking today.
Today I'm
shaking. But please let me ask our viewers, you need to ask that thing that we have been asking people. New Year gifts.
What do you carry cup?
Chicken. There's a difference between chicken and chicken.
Chicken, is it the one that doesn't have the feathers on the head?
No. Chicken is the one that they sell in the market.
Okay.
It's on the floor. Okay. You'll be chasing it. They will not pick one. That's
okay.
Chicken.
That's chicken. Which one is chicken?
Chicken is the touch one. The one that just...
Tommy, you just stop.
Oh, it's chicken.
Stop all this rubbish.
That's the one that they pack. That's the one they cut, and you're like, please can you help me?
A whole chicken?
Yeah, can you help me? Can you help me kill it? Like, can you kill it? You're not like, come on. The ones you see in the cage, that's chicken.
That's chicken.
The ones on the floor, the ones that you pour corn down and they run towards it, that's chicken. And that is sweet.
What you give feed?
It's chicken.
Chicken.
Okay. It's not sweet. It's just manageable. So, one chicken, one guinea fowl.
One turkey. You don't want turkey?
That one too is one thing that has that very, very irritating. What does my son call it? Mommy is yuck. That face is yuck. Because of that face, that stain, I don't go anywhere.
Turkeys are really?
No. That thing is irritating. From the back is okay, from the front
maybe irritating by the looks.
No, but very sweet report.
So basically today I'm going to be a presenter and I'm going to be a guest.
I know, because you have some questions that I have. I saw your name. I saw your title.
Somewhere.
In the social media.
Are you serious?
And apparently you were called out. Because when we went for one wedding like that you invited us for, people announced there that you are the shaman of one thing. And I saw the name of that thing. And I saw your name. And I felt like, okay, thank God she's on the show. She gets to set the record straight. And of course, when we mention the story, I'm sure quite a number of parents whose children attend the school or whose neighbors' children attend the school will be interested in just finding out, is that true? Is this not true? So I won't let the cat out of the bag this morning. I'll just share with you. Let us share with you. First of all, I have two newspapers with me. I have the Guardian and the Nation newspaper. And I think Tom has two as well. So let me do my first paper. We'll look at the stories in the papers, and then you get to hear some interesting stories. All right. Above the nameplate, you have petrol, or below the nameplate, you have petrol tanker drivers threatening nationwide strike. U.S. House in chaos after Kevin McCarthy loses speaker votes. This thing just, American democracy just makes me
go gaga. It just unfolds in different dimensions.
I mean, how does the leader of the lose the speakership seat? I mean, his own people didn't vote for him.
I'm telling you. And you know, it's just, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. What it is, and it is. You get. How do they say it? You see what you get is what you see
is what you get.
You know what you see.
As a matter of fact, the guy said he's going to take the battle to his people for not voting him into that position. But the truth is, he was tipped to becoming speaker after Nancy Pelosi, but he lost.
He lost.
He lost. American politics is very, very funny.
Expect the unexpected.
Oh, I'm telling you. So maybe there's going to be a minority becoming speaker this time around. It's going to be interesting. Nigeria records 35 fresh. Oh my God.
35 fresh what?
COVID-19 cases.
Oh no! Don't tell me. No.
I've been telling you people this COVID thing. You people should stop this thing that you are doing. We don't want.
Oh my God, this is not funny.
But thank God WHO said, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that it wasn't the lockdown and the rest of it, the travel restrictions, wasn't really useful anyway in curbing the spread.
Wasn't helpful at all?
They said it only helped in slowing down the spread. The spread was still the spread.
Was it the vaccines that helped you?
I think people were just more careful.
Okay,
because
so this is...
nobody's talking about the vaccines anymore. Have you discovered?
Yeah, I realize. So it's an awakening call.
35 fresh COVID cases.
We need to gear up.
I don't want to be wearing face mask again.
Honestly, that was one era that I really...
It's difficult to breathe inside that, you know.
Honestly, I wish it won't come back. But
please.
I still wear face masks, however. Because when I get to my... Not even the plane. When I get to my area, the roads are so dusty. The roads are not... I mean, it's in Ogun State, so I wish something really could be done about it. Honestly, it's sad. It's
I like the
sad.
way you say clarified. It's in Ogun State.
State.
Like, that's the state where those kind of things are a regular feature. Oh my God.
It's so dusty. They just
that's
put red down.
indictment.
Well, whatever.
Governor Dakwabi, you need to come and do something.
Honestly, Magboro area is calling for help. Yeah, it is.
But how is the traffic really?
Well, traffic has eased. Traffic eased during the Yuletide season, but it seems to be returning because they have narrowed the roads again. Okay. So we expect that in the next 1 week,
it's going to be crazy.
I'll have to start sleeping on the island again.
Oh my. All right,
It's nice coming back home though.
For the Yuletide.
Yeah.
I really cannot imagine sleeping out of my house.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
True. And you have to just make it work. So foreign airlines are now kicking for the return of ineffective COVID-19 travel protocols. Apparently, they're banning on their restricting travelers from China, since that's where the fresh COVID cases are coming
again from China.
Again. But foreign airlines are now beginning to scream. It looks as if the travelers, maybe the volume of travelers from China are usually very high. So with the travel restrictions being placed upon China by almost the rest of the world, this means that it's going to affect business. And so the foreign airlines, the association, the international body, came together yesterday to condemn the restrictions and the travel protocol. It simply means you may need to now start presenting COVID certified vaccinated, forms before you go out and the rest of it. But
otherwise, maybe do a fresh COVID test before you take off.
That's compulsory.
I mean, that's what you used to obtain. So, I mean, why don't you just go ahead with it for those who are not fully vaccinated?
But for China.
Are you fully vaccinated?
The two. Only one.
Are you serious?
Just one. Not the two. I've been waiting for that particular one that they refused to give us.
Tell me, see.
I want the American one.
You had just one.
I had just one. And that thing was painful.
Honestly.
It was really painful.
Okay, so I had just one too.
Really? Are you sure? Why didn't you do the American one? The one.
No, honestly, my experience after the first one was not nice. Yeah.
I've been waiting for Johnson & Johnson. I just want them to give us that one jab and that's it. And apparently...
But is it possible? Is
it
right for you to... We need to find out all these things.
Is it
right for you to
mix it? They said you can. Apparently you could, because You know, we did.
Which one was the first one you took?
That was AstraZeneca.
Oh, that's the one I took as well.
You know, we had to do all of the findings and everything, because then people add AstraZeneca, and then they add what's the other one, bio something as the second one, and then the government said they were going to buy Johnson & Johnson, but it was just 100,000 doses or thereabout then. I was hoping I would just get one of that Johnson & Johnson, and that would just be it. But I didn't, so I had to go for AstraZeneca. But then what baffles me is the fact that then they tell you that even if what you took was AstraZeneca, you can now take the whatever as the second one. So I'm asking the question, they are not, same vaccine, different products.
I honestly,
for those, it doesn't work like that.
I have to be really, 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 really sure, and that's why I would go the extra length, the extra mile to protect myself and protect the people around me. I don't mind using the mask. So if you ask me, I don't mind if I have to.
I still do the sanitizer. I still do the washing
I do all
of hands.
I actually have a bucket in my car. I have soap.
I do too.
I have water. I have wipes. I have everything.
The antiseptic.
Everything.
I have hand sanitizer, a big jar in my boot. I have one in my car. I'm careful, really careful enough. Anyway, because I have smaller kids, so I'm much more careful with things like this. And I think we all should be at a critical time like this. You can't throw these things, away. And the one that everybody would like to hear about, debt service gulps 80.6% of the 2022 revenue. Federal government seeks fresh 8.8 trillion naira loan. I won't be the one carrying the bad news. It's bad news to some. Apparently, that's the only way governance can be run in Nigeria as at now, according to the government. But the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, gets to tell you more about it. All right, let's listen to the Minister of Finance talking about the breakdown of the budget and what exactly will be spent on what. How much money really are we borrowing at a time like this? I think the last I checked was about that portfolio was about 44 point something trillion naira. But with the current borrowing, intended borrowing being added to it, to come to about 70-something trillion naira.
Very good.
Let the minister do the talking.
And we're not planning on debt restructuring. Nigeria has remained committed to meeting its obligations and has consistently been able to meet both its domestic and external obligations. And our projections in the medium term is that this will continue to be so. The federal government will continue to utilize appropriate debt management tools to streamline the costs as well as the risk profile in the debt, including through concessionary borrowings, spreading out debt maturities to make sure that you don't have a bunching, that you don't have too much to repay at any particular point in time, reprofiling the maturities by refinancing short-term debt using longer-term instruments.
All right, welcome back. That was the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, telling us what will be borrowed, what will be spent, and how it will be spent. So,
okay, so 70 trillion, that's where we're heading. That's not a bad one.
We like
so
we are making money.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed. I'm doing that. Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. We're taking the Punch newspaper this time, and Disco's hike electricity tariff. Secretly, consumers kick. Well, Tomisi, look at this now. I mean, we're already
the lights.
No, the thing is, listen, we are paying for this thing. How much of it are we getting? Lagos State is even trying.
We had so much light during this period.
Lagos State is trying. I mean, Lagos State is really doing very well.
You will pay for it,
look,
but you will enjoy it.
Listen to me. Where I live, the village where I live, I am actually complaining.
You don't live in the village.
It is call it a village, call it whatever. But where I live, we pay for light. Well, for supply, electricity supply. and we don't get it.
Do you have a prepaid meter or postpaid meter?
We don't have either. So what they do is estimated billing system. We have applied. We've tried to get the prepaid meter.
Which of the electric serves?
Ibadan.
Ibadan Electricity?
Yes.
Oh my.
So you can imagine what we're going through. It's not
so
funny
basically,
at all. And
you just get a bill at the end of every month.
Yeah, we get a bill at the end of every. It's an estimated.
Text message.
Not a text message. They come and drop a hard
copy,
a paper. Yes, at your gate.
You've not gotten to the level of text message.
So missing. We are not in Lagos State. That's what I just said. So when I see
okay, give me an average figure. What does it cost you in a month to subscribe for light for a 3-bedroom flat?
Well, I guess maybe about between 5 and 10,000, I guess.
So let's say 8,000 minimum.
Okay, let's see 8,000. Yeah.
Okay, so if you have 8,000, how many hours of light do you boast of?
Well, if you get 4 hours of light or 3 hours of light, you should be thankful.
In a day?
In a day.
Like you should be thankful.
You should be very thankful, not just thankful. You should be extremely thankful.
So there are no
extremely
nights.
Grateful, as a matter of fact.
There are no nights that you just have light all through the night.
Well, sometimes, that's rare. You know, when the cases are rare, you really don't count them.
Really
they really don't matter. You know.
So about electricity.
We've been at their necks for God knows how long, and residents are saying they don't even want them as a distribution company anymore because they're not performing, and if they don't have the capacity,
take them to court.
So that
right,
the CDAs and whatnot are coming together, and they're really on their necks.
They need to go to NEC and tell NEC. They'll do an average chart. We did something like that on our community report for Ogijo. They do an average chart of how many hours of light they have, and then they do the bill, and then they put both side by side the report, take it to NEC. That's the regulatory body. And when they get to NEC and they complain and they demand to be taken off their grid, or they're called to order. Usually NEC is able to wade in somehow and come to an agreement with you, or they'll just take you and put you somewhere else.
Honestly, I really wish they could just take us and put us somewhere else, seriously, so that we can have some sanity.
But be careful.
And even when you have the supply, you can't even put on your air conditioners because they keep fluctuating, and you don't want your compressor.
So the quality of the light
is nil. It's horrible.
Okay, so there are too many issues you need to take to NAC.
Yes. Obviously, so let's keep our fingers crossed. But this hike in price issue, what do you think, Tommy? Do you think it's worth it?
I think if you're getting it, if you're on a prepaid meter, or you have a postpaid meter that is working and that they are reading, then it's good.
It's worth it
because then you know what you use is what you're charged for. But in a situation where you don't get serviced and then you're paying, because this hike...
But consumers are accusing them of fleecing Nigerians.
It's true.
Yes, that's what I think too.
It is true.
I think so too because, I have other rented places where I have the prepaid meter. And I think, honestly, it's a bit high.
It depends on the area, I used to live in an area where I spend about 27,000 naira on power every month, prepaid meter. I currently live in an area where I spend just 10,000 every month.
Prepaid meter. Do you put on your air conditioners?
No, I don't. I don't have.
Oh, okay.
So, as it is, I use my fans, the television, charge phones, blah, blah, blah. I use 2 freezers. And...
you use freezers?
Yeah, 2 freezers. What else? I think that's about it. But I still do an average of 10,000 highest.
That's really not bad with 2 freezers, honestly.
But I'm telling you that I have iron once in a while. But I tell you that I have an average of 18 hours of power.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I have 18 hours of power, an average. My average is not less than 18 hours.
That's fantastic. And you're under the Ikeja distribution?
Yeah, under Ikeja. I'm in the band B. I used to live in a band A. And when we were in the band here, we had between 22 and 24 hours. Sometimes we
that's why your bill was higher at that.
So we had
that
about
point.
27,000 every month. And you won't mind because you had the lights. And then this time around,
But 27,000 is high though.
it is. But it's high because the area also determines the value, the value that you pay for the lights.
For the lights.
So sometimes if you live, for example, Mole, Magodo, the Lekki, Ikoyi, the fee you pay is different from what they pay in Abulegba. And so the area determines how much money you spend on power.
Well, I think Ikeja Electric, they're really doing very well,
Relatively.
Well, much better than they were before.
Yeah, much better.
They have a new MD, fairly new MD,
And the complaints have dropped.
And I think she's doing very well. They've always said what a man can do.
A woman can do that.
Better.
So now we're feeling cool because she's a woman. All right.
Okay, so INEC sets aside 8,809 BVAS as backup. So, we're ready for the elections. No story. Everything is going to happen.
So those who have been going to
place.
born INEC offices, they're telling you that their BVAS is not there.
Yeah, so
You've just been wasting your energy and time.
yeah, so that's really set aside. Fuel marketers boycott private depots. You can find that on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. This is the one I really don't want to read yet, so I'll just put it aside. I'll come back to it. 2.74 trillion security budget low, reps panel. This is on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. I don't understand why assassins killed my brother, wife, and son, slain CBN workers' sibling.
Yeah. It really doesn't make sense. I think that's the Ogun State story.
Yes, but
I think they really didn't make sense. They found the boy, boy's body in a river yesterday. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Who will ever understand why? There's no excuse, really, for that kind of action.
We don't even know exactly what. And
what could have happened?
They thought the boy
let's
was
wait for the
kidnapped,
outcome. Yes.
but then his body was found.
Well, let's wait for the outcome, of the investigation, and hope it comes out.
Let's catch the culprits, really.
Yes.
I think.
It's in investigating that they will catch the culprits.
Catching them is the major thing here. Catching them is just the major thing.
It's unfortunate. Listen, did I tell you that at some point this thing almost they tried to get me?
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. I just stopped at a gas station along the expressway, and I went in. I was really pressed. I wanted to use myself, so I asked for the restroom, and I went in. There were cubicles, about 6 or maybe 4 or 6, and I saw one little boy. He seemed like a Fulani boy to me, and he said I could go into one of them. I went into one of them, and I locked the door. And when I was done, I tried to open the door. It wouldn't open. So I thought, it just got stuck. And I pushed it the first time with ease. It didn't open, so I pushed it with a little force. It didn't open. And it dawned on me that something was going on, And, before I went into the restroom, I saw a mobile police carrying a gun at the entrance, and I greeted him, and I went in as well with the little boy. So I pushed harder, and then I started hitting the door, banging the door, hitting, shouting, and then I started sweating. I was like soaked. I'm serious. I looked around to see if there was any other route of escape. There was none. So I started banging, and then it occurred to me. I said, "This is an aluminium framed door, and this is glass. Well, whether glass or this plastic." I said, "I can break this thing, So I was determined to break it, and I broke it. I had been shouting for a long time, and after I broke it, I just saw the mobile police was standing there. He was in shock that I broke it. I expected him to challenge me for breaking it because I thought he was a security for that filling station.
Apparently, he's not even a mobile police. That's the meaning.
He actually is a policeman.
Wearing a uniform.
He was wearing the uniform.
Exactly.
And so I was shocked to find him. And immediately he saw that I broke the glass. He just walked past and went into one of the offices. So I unlocked the door. It was locked from outside. I unlocked the door. I came out.
So apparently they were meant to forget that you were there. So whenever the owners of the filling station come out, maybe to check, they will find the doors locked, so they will assume that nobody's there.
Perhaps. Wait now. So when I got out of the restroom, I started walking fast after him. And when he went into one of the offices, I wanted to go with him, but somebody said, don't do that. Just go into your car and leave. But I started asking, I said, where is that Fulani boy? What's going on? I was asking, he didn't even pretend like he heard me. He just walked away. So I went to my driver, I asked my driver, I said, did you see that one little boy? Did you see one little boy? He said, no, he didn't see any little boy. I said, there was one little boy. He said, no. So I got in the car and I started leaving. As we were driving out, I saw that little boy coming with 5 men, pointing to where
You were.
he had locked me. It wasn't funny. So these things, we just pray to God.
Are you kidding me right
I'm not
now?
kidding you. I'm not kidding. I had a wound on my hand for a while, and that thing is still there, broken.
Which filling station is this?
It's the NNPC.
Along the expressway?
Along the expressway.
Before Magboro, after Magboro?
Going is before.
Going it's before Magboro. So these things can happen as close as possible to Lagos.
Well, okay, so the one story says...
What was the mobile policeman doing there?
I don't know. I assumed...
Because
I assumed he was
it's an
there.
NNPC filling station. They're not meant to have a police officer on duty.
Well, he was there on duty. Well, sex romp. Principal denies cover-up, suspends 6 students.
No, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that much later.
later.
Yes. Okay, that's it for the punch.
All right, let me take this one from the Nation newspaper. I have one more story that I'd like to also share. You have the CBN, 1.355 trillion Polaris Bank sale most competitive offer. Akijide Oyelese Bolarumi in work for Atiku. Air Force redeploys branch chiefs. AOC's NDDC barred from awarding contract above limits. Wike confident of victory for his preferred presidential candidate. This is getting much more interesting. Government targets 8.2 trillion naira from oil sector petrol subsidy to cost 3.36 trillion in 6 months. Do you know that the highest revenue the federal government made in 2022 was from agriculture?
We discussed this. I think Inka Kenny and I discussed this on one of the programs. You know, it was obvious that at some point the oil wells would dry up. We kept saying this years ago.
Yeah.
What happened to agriculture? We should go back to agriculture. Thank God we have. Thank God we have.
If there's nothing we're grateful for to President Muhammadu Buhari for, we should hold him,
Yes.
up high for making sure the investment in agriculture was not trifled with during his tenure. He spent so much money pushing funds into agriculture, and now is birthing results
Yes.
for Nigerians. And it was said that 2022 we're going to go hungry in Nigeria. We didn't go hungry.
Yeah, we didn't go hungry.
Rice importation has dropped. We are doing better. That's the basic truth. All right, Tinubu Shatima, APC chiefs shut down Kano. Ex-Lagos governor promises to serve Nigerians. Progressive governors will deliver at poll, says Bagudu. EFCC secures 3,785 convictions. Nupeng threatens strike. A mosque, 6 shops raised in clash among resident settlers in Undo. All right, this one we'll try to take a look at. Story to share with you. Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo Bao, the All Progressive Congress candidate for House of Representatives Ifakoja, a federal constituency, continues to get the support across different stratas ahead of the 2023 polls. Again, Bao Ambassadors Group gave another financial support of about 1 million naira to give cushion to the APC general elections, preparation for the general elections. The think tank of the group, Prince Lekon Arugundade, noted that the group deemed it fit to also give financial support after campaign materials had been given to the party's flag bearer. Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo Bao appreciated the group's gesture and prayed to God to continue to bless them all, while urging them to go back home and mobilize voters' card owners for the elections and also for collection. He also thanked them all for their support, praying that this will not end. He asked every member of the party in his constituency to go and mobilize the people to collect their permanent voters card from INEC while the distribution is still being done. Present at the event is Honorable Ceci Smith, Alaja Bolanle, Honorable Leko Abati, Alaja Basirat Ujubile, Honorable Adeniyi Olayiwola Musbao, Chairman of BAO Tactical Committee, Honorable Nureni, Mr. Robert, and a host of others.
I believe good manner maketh man. So for the fact that I've been carrying people along and I've been doing good to them, so they are trying to pay me back one way or the other by supporting my aspiration to make sure it comes to pass. And I really appreciate them. And I'm taking this opportunity to tell the whole world that I've been doing good and I will continue to do good, because I can say that there is a reward in doing good. My advice to the electorate is that they should please come out en masse to make sure they vote for our party, most especially for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because the way this country is now, we need to change a lot of things there. In the olden days, we know how it was, but now Lagos State, we are seeing now, we know how it is. This thing started since when Asiwaju became the governor.
The campaign council of the party has been put together in Ifakojaye. And our message will go from Honorable Olabinjo today to the campaign council. What we are doing today is to launch an appeal fundraising process. So we are appealing to the people to come to the aid of the party, to donate, and that is why we have started with a donation of 1 million naira cash, so that we put all these monies together to assist APC in Ifakojaye. The party, we have enough money from the president to the senator to the governor to the House of Rep to the assembly. So all these electoral processes, we will have enough money to support the campaign and the election process.
Now, everybody should go and collect his or her PVC, especially in the southwest, because I've been hearing that in southwest people have not been collecting their PVC. There are over 3.4 million PVC have not been collected. So my appeal to all southwesterners is to make sure that they go and they should collect their PVC.
So welcome back. So what do you have in the Nigerian Tribune?
Oh, the Nigerian Tribune, local peculiarities to affect G5 governors' choices.
This is getting much more
It's
interesting.
getting
Today they have the rally in Ibadan for Atiku, and then the G5 governors say they're coming for Makinde. They're going to be on ground for Makinde's campaign. The 5 of them are going to be on ground. It will be interesting.
Well, politics is full of, all sorts of things. And as it unfolds, as these things unravel, I just get amused and amazed. And, it's so interesting. But you see, for everything that happens, there's a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
There is a lesson to be learned. And so, let's just watch as it unfolds. I've always said I'm not partisan, so...
So we just watch.
We'll just watch. New finance bill. National Assembly approves 3-year imprisonment and 10 million fine on corrupt public officers. What do you think? Coming from the National Assembly.
So it gets more interesting. Some of the loots that were taken, collected by the EFCC from corrupt officials, those who had funds, diverted funds, Yahoo boys that had been, properties that had been seized, cars, houses, fixed assets. This committee of the National Assembly also approved the sale of these items a couple of months ago. I think it started December 22 or thereabout. But you see, the interesting part is they're even making sure that these people cannot go back to
buy those things.
Those things.
But 10 million fine on public corrupt officers, really, will that shake them?
Should it be or should be both? For me,
I mean, I think it should. That's why I said, will that shake them? I don't think it.
I think it should be both.
10 million is really nothing. It's really nothing to corrupt public officers. They have a whole lot of a whooping sum of money
So you
with
see?
them. So 10 million. So both.
let them go to jail.
Yes.
That jail is very, very important.
Yes.
And even when are you saying we should put a fine on them after we have gotten back, maybe
The
after
money.
we have gotten the loot, we should still fine them and then send them to jail? Is that what we're talking about here?
Well, I haven't read the story though, but
No, I'm just saying.
I
that would be my recommendation.
Yes, I think so.
When you're done collecting the loot, then you
send
will
them to
go
jail.
back and send them
And
to
then you
jail,
pay the fine.
and they will still pay the fine. So
Yes.
next time they don't steal.
Well, maybe they should just increase the fine to like 20 million with the 3-year imprisonment. That wouldn't be a bad idea. So it would
10
serve as a
million.
deterrent,
Sounds like chicken change to them anyway.
really, that's what I'm saying. The 10 million is really nothing, I mean, we need to, Toby say, listen, we need to get serious in this country.
Especially
Do you know
with this corruption thing.
how a lot of people, in diaspora, even Nigerians, look at us like as jokers, like we don't even know what we're doing. They just think we're a bunch of, unserious people. And for those of us who have believed in this country and remained in this country, they just think we're not really thinking the right way. But guess what? This is the only country that we have. I am not going anywhere, not even now, So we're going to make it work. And that's why I'm saying,
Stiffer penalties.
Yes, stiffer penalties would do the trick, and it should serve as a deterrent, to other people who intend to loot, public funds.
And divert
Public funds. Fuel scarcity may worsen as NUPENG threatens nationwide strike. So when they're saying we've not suffered enough. So they say we've not suffered enough. I don't get it. But actually the supply has increased, from the Christmas period. At least more filling stations are selling
at
the products.
250 naira per litre.
But Tommy said it wasn't even available, at all. I mean, now more filling stations are selling, even if it's at 250. That's not the. I mean, what is the monitoring body doing?
So they're selling at 250 for a fuel that has been subsidized.
Exactly.
So they're making much more money from Nigerians. And
So
what is the
Tommy said,
NCDC doing?
Exactly. What are they doing?
That's
I
part
mean,
of
are
the
they not
assignment of the
capable
NCDC.
of doing the assignment? Why would you wake up in the morning and go to work if you're not working? That's the
I don't
question.
get it.
So we're asking
I mean,
you.
the ones on the main roads, the ones on the expressway, and some of the what do they call them? There's the A trunk, there is the trunk A, trunk
And
B.
trunk B, yeah.
Those trunk A, trunk B filling stations actually sell at the official price. The moment you leave those ones and you go into the streets,
Those are the ones, and because
those are the
people,
ones that have the effrontery to
people
sell at 250 and look at your face and say if you're buying.
you buy. If you don't want, you leave.
And then the meters are not even correct in the first place.
Yes, the meters have been adjusted more often than not. But you see, the thing is that I'm sure these reports get to them.
Yeah.
So if these reports get to them, I mean, they don't need to go to all these filling stations.
Just
they
pick
just
three.
need one or two.
And make a
teach them
scapegoat out of them.
Precisely, that's it. That's all we're asking you to do. Let us see you working, and that's it. And the others will
a
confirm.
show.
Yes,
In fact, make a show.
an open show.
The way Lapska picks houses and pick up people who build these houses that fall down or collapse and make a public show
Yes.
of demolishing the building and all that. Make a show of shutting down the fuel station,
I'm telling you.
and people will desist. The fear of they may shut down my fuel station would make them not do it.
Look, the thing is that if they shut down the fuel station, however, they will resolve it. But by the time they take bulldozers there to bring it down, I'm not kidding you, just bring it down. Do that to just one.
I mean, somebody was
They will know
telling
that
me
you're serious.
that in the UK,
But they believe
if you
money
drive-
can do everything
Exactly.
in Nigeria.
Somebody said to me that in the UK, there was this thing that LASMA did last year, and they were talking about auctioning people's vehicles who applied
one way.
And then a lot of people were saying, it's not fair. And I'm like, excuse me, you guys are the ones that are well traveled. And then I had to call, and somebody called in on the show and said, in the UK, when you apply a one way, they scrap your vehicle instantly. So there is no two saying about, you already know what the penalty is. You won't even complain.
You see, for me,
you park anyhow, you get like a £50, £60 ticket. So you won't do it. That's like paying tickets of almost 50,000 naira for just one ticket for parking anyhow. Indiscriminate parking. And then in Nigeria, you're parking halfway on the road, and then LASMA catches you, gives you a penalty of maybe 20,000. I would say LASMA is wicked. I'm not saying LASMA officials don't overdo these things. They actually do.
That's where I was going. Listen, you see, if the law enforcement agents themselves are disciplined, and you see them, that they're disciplined, then you have no other choice but to conform. Do you understand? And when they take these penalties out on you, you won't have a choice but to surrender to them, to their good judgment. But because, there's lobbying after here with one person, and there's no lobbying with the other person because that person can't meet up a certain amount, that's the part I don't agree with.
If you're going to do it, do it
and do it well, and do it across board. For me, that will work. So, 1999 Constitution won't guarantee emergence of credible leader. Afe Babalola. That's on page 29.
These things keep making me laugh. We have an election in barely 5 weeks, and
barely 5 weeks. So Tommy say.
I think we still have about 7 weeks anyway. It starts to February 25.
Yeah, about that.
So
yes,
about 7 weeks.
About 7 weeks. We're so close.
And then somebody's talking about the Constitution that the National Assembly has been amending since forever, and they've not come out with the main document.
This 1999 Constitution, in fact, it's more popular. It's more popular than the naira note in Nigeria.
Did you see the new naira notes?
Did you see how those notes were
clean off?
Yes.
And it looks like something they use arrow to. Sorry, what's that thing? What's arrow in English? Dye.
Yes.
It looks like something that tie and dye worked upon or something. I don't know.
All right, Tommy, we'll take a break now.
All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we're talking about something we found in the papers this morning. And trust me, this is the point where Tom leaves the stage of becoming a presenter to becoming the guest
on the show.
Papa, mama, brother, sister, this Lagos must work for all of us. Everybody da fun Eko.
Oh yes, Lagos people, papa, mama, sister, brother, auntie, plus including uncle them. Better don land for Lagos State gidigba. Money wey be for Lagos State, then go use am for Lagos State wella. No more baba sope. Dem no go chop Lagos State money. Nobody go pocket Lagos State. Dem go take am build Lagos State, build road, build hospital, build houses, and na only one man fit do this job. His name na Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor. He come carry one ogbonge person as the deputy governor. Her name na Funke Akindele. My people, wetin we dey wait for? Make we vote for light, vote for change. No be the kind change wey dem vote before. This one na the original change. How Amumu don do? Pay dey pay.
Everybody da fun Eko.
Getting together for the first time in years was a little bit awkward. Grandpa still tried to entertain us. Mom was always stealing the spotlight from the kids. It wasn't until Grandma cracked a joke
That's my favorite prayer.
that we got back into our groove. In this festive, DSTV is making family time even better with an upgrade.
Stay connected to DSTV and we'll upgrade you to the next package.
All right, welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. The story broke out during the weekend. Lina Keji had it in our blog, and I think the Punch newspaper yesterday had their own version of it. Truthfully and fortunately for us, it is something that involves the school where Tom attended and currently serves as the chairman of the
global president.
The global president of the Alumni Association of the school. Yes, stories do break and people come up with different versions of the story. Unfortunately, the lie or the untruth spreads faster than the actual truth. So yes, this morning I feel it is necessary to have Tom tell us what exactly happened, and then you and I can talk about it and find out if there is any problem or if the problem is being properly handled by the school. So tell us, what happened in your school?
Well, the news broke yesterday, and the allegations, quite a number of allegations though. First of all, that some students were found in a hotel, and they've been there for a couple of days.
They don't have parents.
And they've been doing that for a couple of months.
Okay.
And the ages of these children are between 14 and 17. And this news had been covered by the school until one of the students got pregnant. And the school now quickly suspended the one who impregnated and the one who was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of funny allegations. Oh, the children are on drugs and so on and so forth. Tomisi, this is a school that has about 3,500 students from different homes.
Definitely. Everybody comes from everywhere.
Everybody comes with their own baggage. Everybody has their own character traits. I mean, they're all different children. And you have a leadership that is working, and that's why if you hear this kind of thing as a one-off, then we must give kudos to the leadership of the school. Now, fortunately, I happen to be a member of the SBMC in the capacity of the global president of the Alumni Association. So the SBMC is a school-based management committee, and that's really the highest body.
We've been talking about school. We should mention the name of the school.
Yeah, so the school is Federal Government College, Lagos, Ijaniki. And you see, in that committee, we have all the stakeholders. We have the representative of the minister. Mm-hmm. We have the SBMC chairperson. We have the principal and her vice principals. We have the Oba of Ijaniki.
Okay.
We have the DPO of the Ijaniki police station. We have the local government education desk, representing. We have the PTA, and we have the global president of the Old Students Association. These are the people that form that committee.
And what exactly do you guys do?
Okay, we discuss everything that concerns the school.
Okay.
Everything to make things work. How to make things work, how to move the school forward, everything, just to make sure that, we get to the level and the standard that we want it to be.
Okay.
And so we have these meetings quite regularly, and but sometimes when we have issues like this, we have emergency meetings. So in this case, yes, about 6 students were found in a hotel. And how did this happen? Just before the FEGO games, there was a roll call. So what one of the things that the principal does is have a roll call.
Okay.
Do you understand? No fixed dates. It's just random.
Okay.
From time to time.
Okay.
Because, these people, she's a principal. She's been through this time and time again.
Okay. It's even a woman.
She's a woman.
Okay.
So she's a mother as well. And, so she knows how children could be, They're adventurous. They want to jump the fence. They have raised that fence, to a height where you won't imagine that children will still jump that fence.
And they're still jumping.
And they have barbed wires on the fence.
So how are they jumping out?
We don't just know. These children. So,
do they pay school fees in the school?
Oh yes, they pay school fees.
So, is it a federal school?
It's a federal school. It's a federal government college. It's a federal government college, like any other federal government college.
So I'm just asking these questions because I feel like if they pay school fees, they say public schools, blah, 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 is free, so they don't monitor. So this is a federal government
college. Okay. Yes. Okay, yes. So so they did the roll call and they realized that, some of the students were not in school. And immediately, that same day, they called the parents of the students to find out if the students were at home with the parents. The parents said no, none of them was in their home. So they had to inform the police. And like I said, the police, they're stakeholders as well. Okay, so they informed the DPO of the Ijanikin police station, and they now started to pressurize the friends of the students who were not in school
to find out where exactly they were.
So one of them gave in and told the authorities where these children were.
So they knew where they were?
Yes. They knew where they're friends. They move together. They tell each other things. So, I mean, that was wisdom. Putting pressure on their friends, knowing who their friends are, asking. I mean, you could see they actually went the length to get to the bottom of it, because obviously, you have a friend. Who is this person's friend? I say, it's so that's this person's friend. Okay, can you come to our office? And they start to pressurize. And then they got to know that, these children were in the hotel. And they went and bombarded that hotel and got the students, actually. And one of the students is a child of a popular monarch. And he is the sponsor.
Oh.
Yes.
Of that particular romp.
He is the sponsor. So they got the children and they took them to the police station. They were with the parents were there. So I'm just telling you what the authorities did. So even though there's an allegation that the school was trying to cover up this story, and that it is because of the principal's negligence, I mean, how negligent could the principal be?
That they were able to
exactly
get the parents involved.
What else do you want
to the point of getting them arrested?
They were in the police station and immediately they were suspended indefinitely. Now I want to tell you something. Don't forget
including the child of the monarch.
All of them were suspended. Now, there's a difference between being suspended and being suspended indefinitely. You see, the principal herself has to work with the guidelines of the Federal Ministry of Education. She can't go outside that. No, even the SBMC cannot go outside that. So what happens is that the children will first of all face a disciplinary committee. So after they left the police station, they faced the disciplinary committee. And the recommendations of that disciplinary committee is now brought to the BMC, and we discuss it, we deliberate on it. Okay? And then our deliberations are taken back to Abuja, to the Federal Ministry of Education, even though there's a representative there. And sometimes sometimes we just reach a decision like that. So these children were suspended indefinitely. And it's just as good as saying they were expelled.
Because you're not sure they're ever coming back.
Yes. So, I mean, what more would you have expected
the school to
do?
So, what exactly was the media expecting? Now, the social media bloggers did say the school covered it up and didn't want the news to go out. So, I'm asking, as a mother, first of all, not just because you're involved, do you think this kind of story is something that should have been made public?
Now,
should the school have done a press conference?
I don't think so. And every school, every institution have their internal challenges. I mean, once you have a system in place to sort these things out, why do you want to make it public? Now, consider that these are children, okay? They have a future.
True.
And not every child that is turned bad as a child turns out to be a bad adult. No.
True.
So if you now put these children out there, you're narrowing their chances
of ever becoming better.
Better and great human individuals. Do you understand what I'm saying? So as a mother, the principal had done what she should do.
As a matter of fact, I don't even think this kind of stories should have made it outside of the school environment.
And I don't know what anybody is going to benefit from this,
making it public.
Especially because it has been dealt with. This is not a fresh thing. This happened early December or November. Yes, it's not a fresh thing. It had been dealt with. It put paid to it.
Wow.
Yes, so I don't know.
So who is the mischievous parent being quoted in the Punch newspaper?
Precisely.
As they wanted to cover it up.
Someone
because from the story, the PTA was briefed.
Now I'll tell you something. As a matter of fact, the PTA chairman, from what I read, I haven't spoken to him yet, claimed that he was the one who even told the parents. So I think that maybe there may be some fracas within the PTA, and perhaps maybe the way the thing, maybe he was just trying to caution the parents, because what the parents do is they resist discipline for their children. Oh yes. Oh, it has happened before. We have even deliberated. There was a parent whose child committed, some grave offense, and that child faced the disciplinary committee, and we sat on that matter. In fact, there were 2 children, and they were suspended indefinitely. And the mother of one of them, and they were asked to take their things out of the hostel and wait in the admin block for their parents to come pick them up. Now, the mother of one of them came and said, "What is it? Why is my child here? Why didn't you just let her stay in the classroom? I mean, did she steal?" I mean, so what do you say in such a case? And they started raining all sorts of curses and abuses on the principal for taking that action.
It becomes much more difficult when we're talking about how parents tend to coddle their kids when they have committed.
So, I just can't tell you what this child did. This is a thing that the woman should have actually been covering her face in shame. She came out boldly and was raining curses on the principal of the school.
So obviously the child will have the permission to do much more. Anyway, we'll take another commercial break. When we come back, we're still talking about young people.
Papa, mama, brother, sister, this Lagos must work for all of us. Everybody jà fún Èkó.
Oh yes, Lagos people, papa, mama, sister, brother, auntie, plus including uncle them. Better don land for Lagos State gidigba. Money wey be for Lagos State, then go use am for Lagos State wella. No more baba sope. Dem no go chop Lagos State money. Nobody go pocket Lagos State. Dem go take am build Lagos State, build road, build hospital, build houses, and na only one man fit do this job. His name na Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor. He come carry one ogbonge person as the deputy governor. Her name na Funke Akindele. My people, wetin we dey wait for? Make we vote for light, vote for change. No be the kind change wey dem vote before. This one na the original change. How Amumu don do? Pay dey pay.
Everybody jà fún Èkó.
Little blackbird, are you listening? Little blackbird, are you listening? tell you a story of a little girl who had to grow up now. I know you put yourself in that same headspace. Insults got that crown weighing heavy on your head. You define beauty, you're a perfect creation. Love, all your skies, blackbird. You will fly. Little blackbird, are you listening? Little blackbird, are you listening? I'll tell you a story of a little girl who had to grow up now. Your skin's the constant talk of the town.
Yes, welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. It gets more interesting. We were talking about this matter that made social media, go agog. In fact, even the mass media as well. Even though not everybody jumped on the story, but at least one of the major newspapers, jumped on the story and reported, one-sided report, about this. Now, it's good we have had Tone's story, but what really makes it interesting for me is the fact that 1 million naira was found in the account of one of these pupils. And I like to call the word pupils because they're not even 18, they're not above 18. I don't think they
students.
So they may be students and they can't vote.
So they're actually between the ages of 17 and 18, not 14 and 17.
So
17 and 18.
The paper said 14 and 17.
Yeah, no, they're not 14.
So they're 17 and 18.
They're SS3 students.
Oh.
Yes.
And they were suspended indefinitely. So they were kids that were supposed to be going somewhere. Okay. We have another person joining us this morning. Let's quickly introduce Bisoye. We have Bisoye Olajoko joining us this morning on the show. Bisoye is a businessman. He plays in the agriculture sector. When he sent me some of the pictures, I'm like seriously? So I was supposed to be doing dirty things. Young people don't do dirty jobs to make money. Everybody wants to do something like really cute and really, really touche. That's how business sounds in their ears. Quick money, fast money, enjoy life, do everything quickly, and just live the best.
Live the life. They want to live the best life, and they want to do.
They want to do everything as possible.
They thought I don't know what they think that we got here in 2 seconds.
No, apparently they felt like
it took us
everything
a
about
lifetime.
us just happened. We were privileged folk. We didn't work.
Yeah, so and that's why we should have more people like our guests on the program, so that they can share their experiences and let people know that the younger ones know that indeed you can make money the right way. You need to walk the walk
to get to that
to
point.
be able to talk the talk.
You can't jump any stage.
You can't jump any stage. You can't. I mean, it's step by step. They say make haste slowly. 1 million naira in her account. There's a sponsor, like I said, the Monarch's son. The Monarch's son actually sponsors. He
this
pays,
escapade.
Yes, he pays for this escapade. That's how come there's that much money.
You see, Bisoye, you interact with young people today. Okay, maybe I should tell people a little bit more about Bisoye.
You need to give a background.
Bisoye studied geophysics. He has a BSc in geophysics. He has an MSc in international law and diplomacy. He's the UNILAG member Southwest Group Coordinator in politics. He's a goat farmer. And he deals in spare parts. So, I'm sorry.
As you're introducing him, each time you mention something, he says, yeah. You know the year that you say with pride.
Like
that,
I do.
Yeah, this is what I do for a living. And I can explain it, I can defend it, and I'm making money from it.
How do you get
satisfaction?
How do you even get to have money that you cannot explain? I mean, people ask you, where did you make the money from? How did you make the money? And the question you're like, I just came into some money. What come into money? How do people come into money these days without working for it? So, Bisoye, good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I know that you do agriculture, but I really never knew until this morning or last night when you sent this to me that you were selling goods.
Yeah, I know. I sell goods. I still sell goods. So if you
Like,
want to buy, maybe you just give me the contract. If you want to have a party, I will sell goods to you.
Like you sell?
I sell goods.
So you actually rear goods?
I rear goods, and sometimes if it's not enough, I go to the north myself and go pack them in from like Castina. I know almost all the farm markets in Castina, from Kagadama, Cherenchi, Mashi, the biggest one, Miadua, and I go almost every year.
To go buy goods?
To go buy goods.
Yes.
You bring them to the south?
Bring them to the south. And like it's about reproduction, so if you like, the demand still calls for
Yes,
it.
I was going to ask about the
If I don't know,
demand.
so I have to just go there and go get myself. Though I have my own people there that can bring it, but I prefer going to select rams for myself. So,
Yeah.
And I've been doing this since I was 17, because I think I left secondary school at the age of 16, and I didn't want to go to a private school. So
a private university.
Yeah. So I did. I think I took jam for 4 times. They were all my siblings went to private school. So I said I'm not going. So
why did you not want to go to a private university?
Then
if your parents could afford it.
It was too. I could saw the stress on my mom.
Oh, okay.
Because my dad was not around then. So
are you the last born?
Yeah, I'm the last
Obviously.
son.
Last son. Okay.
Last son. So I didn't want to take her through that stress. So within that 4-year span, I dived into agriculture. So my first trip was to Cotonou to go get goods, because that was nearer. And going to the north then, there was this Boko Haram thing, so just springing up then. So my mom was like, Mark Pami, don't. So I chose to go to Cotonou. So I started bringing in them with small tokens like that then. From there I started, and I have a farm in Aton. I have
Where is Aton?
Aton, that's Ogun State.
Ogun State.
So why is that? Because I went inside, because that's where you get cheaper land when you don't have money. So you just do according to the way you have.
The little money that you have.
So, but now I have a farm here in Lagos State. So, like that, from that I started up, and God has been so good.
So
to
when
me.
you went to school, how were you monitoring your business?
Yeah, it's that's why I went to go through. I didn't want to go into poultry.
Okay.
Poultry takes a lot of your time.
Okay.
Just look at the birds, but goats they're very strong.
Very, very.
Give them food in the morning, just give them the water, and the night.
So you didn't live in school?
No, I had an hostel now. Then
okay.
I go.
You used to go and come. Back and forth.
Depends on how my schedule, my timetable is in school. You understand? So go back and forth like that anytime.
But you made adequate arrangement for the feeding of the goats.
Of course, yes.
Okay, so obviously my director said you should speak up a little, and maybe you just do what Tom is doing as well.
Okay.
Rest on the table so that we all can have this conversation.
Okay.
So when you interact with young people these days and you tell them I rear goats, how do they react?
No, they just look at you as what's currently now. If I tell you the business my wife is doing, you will shout.
Okay,
what's she doing?
She's a POS operator.
Okay. Oh yeah, but they make money.
That's
the bottom line.
Thank you very much. Let's make the money. Not she went to Unilag, studied accounting, and she now went back to do the work, studied public administration. Somebody in that line now doing POS, they'll be like, but she's making the money and we are enjoying the money. So it's about getting. The Yoruba says that's what they told us. What you work, you don't just get it. It's what you.
It comes.
It's come. It comes in cash, right? And if you look at the what we see now, young guys of 13 driving a car of like 45 million.
Where did they get the money from?
And that's why you understand. So you didn't come from that gradational process.
So this child that had 1 million at home, where did he say he got the money from?
Well, I just told you it was a business. It was a business, it was a business agreement. if you conform, you get a certain amount of money. I guess it had been piling up, perhaps. We know, whatever.
It was a business agreement.
I guess so.
Oh.
Someone was sponsoring all these things.
So the guy that was sponsoring as well, his parents are supposed to be leaders in the society.
Yes.
How much money really does it mean? Do you
Is he
expose your
exposed
kids
to?
to?
That's the question.
How
That
much
is the
fun?
question.
That's right. Some of our issues are
And that's why some
fundamental to
parents will
our
come to the school and think they can talk down on the principal because they believe that it all boils down to money. She doesn't have the kind of money that they have.
And the point is that you shouldn't have even exposed your child to that kind of money in the first place. What's the principle of hard work? What's the principle of diligence at work and dignity in labor? How do you give a child enough money for that child to be able to take hotel room and sponsor kids like him to go take a hotel?
Tommy, see, you're just talking like it's so funny to me.
I do.
Tommy, see, you can't.
This is
Tommy, see, you
preposterous.
can't give what you don't have.
Oh, the morals are not even there for
They're
the
not
parents
there.
in the
But
first place.
the morals are not there. So how do they give their child the morals? And then now the money is there. How the money was gotten, nobody knows. So they will give the money. So it's, I mean, if they didn't have the money, would they give it?
No.
Definitely not.
No. So it's a very pitiful situation.
Very pitiful situation. I mean, this man, I mean, without him telling me, he works hard and he prays hard.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Prayer is written all over here.
Yeah, it is. They say.
Can you see his forehead?
Yeah, I can see. What's that thing they say? They say.
He prays
Abba,
hard,
right? What's that? What's that? There's something they call it, like the mark.
It's just a mark.
Just a mark.
It's a mark for
It's a mark that he prays
regularly. He's
often.
devoted. He's committed to his God, and he's hardworking. I mean, come on, God will bless him now.
And then you're not looking at a situation where every young person that comes around, they look at your car, they want to be like you. They look at your phone, they're like, but Abiso is using it, I'll go and buy. And I'm asking the question, are we mates?
Tell us, how do you do the spare parts? How do you, I mean...
Yeah, this is the thing. Why I ventured into spare parts, like, I'm from Mushin. So I have a place, but so...
You are from Mushin,
yeah, from
or
Mushin.
you live in Mushin?
No,
you are from Mushin in Lagos State?
In Lagos State, yeah.
Really?
Community,
yeah.
That's...
Number 5 in Gbaida, our family house there.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather was Ekutele Paramo Ologini Tadridi. So actually, it ventured into agriculture, so he brings all this cassava from like Osun State and all that.
Okay.
So like there was this thing about this largest spare part market in Africa, Ladipo. I was not like, I'm in Mushin. Why can't us just go and do a survey inside Ladipo? How can I be in a place they say the biggest, largest spare parts market in Africa and I won't just know? So I went there, I just got into that. I was like, oh wow, I see young guys. I want to tell you this for a fact that the Igbo guys, actually they're hardworking.
They're very industrious, no doubt.
For the span of like 10 years, I've seen guys push truck. They rose from pushing trucks to importing containers, 40 feet, 30 feet. 40 feet, 20 feet.
Without killing people, without doing any rituals, without doing anything.
Man,
yeah.
Consistency.
You saw the process, so you could not say this one came and do anything.
So you know where the money came from.
The process from pushing trucks to selling things by the road, to start renting shops, to start bringing in containers. You saw the process. I saw it. So
I've seen it happen too.
And also, okay, if this they can be doing this. People that came from South and they are doing it. I mean, I'm here. Why can't I do so? I started telling my guys, they sell spare parts. So if you need anything, I started getting it for them. So that I ventured into spare parts. So if you need any engine, I even know I'm not a mechanic, but I know the component and tell you, hey, you don't go for the system will last longer. That's why I ventured into spare parts. So if in case you have anything in your car, I can help you.
I mean, this is good publicity for you as well. You know, because I mean, you never can tell. I'm even thinking of something we will discuss after the program.
So it all comes down to two things that you do that are really absurd for a young person. I know that you're under 40.
Yeah,
early 30s.
He's in his early 30s, I know. So I'm asking myself the question because I know a couple of your friends, so I can guess what the age group is like. So I'm asking myself the question, how does a guy that is in his early 30s get to think it is right to go into a business that naturally should disgust you know, naturally disgust people, young people who feel that they are privileged. You know, I went to school, I can't get my hands there. Do you know how dirty it is to deal in spare parts? Do you know how it is to run a goatry farm? Like, really?
Tommy say, you know this thing I used to see on the expressway? Shit money.
You know the smell.
You know, and they're dealing with mobile toilets. You know, so I mean, you're making money. That's the bottom line.
So there are viable positions. So I'm just looking at it. How much money did you really have when you wanted to start the spare part business, for example?
Perhaps zero.
Okay. When I was about the spare part, no, I already gathered money from agriculture.
Okay, before you started the spare part
business. So
okay.
I had less than maybe 300,000.
Okay.
Brake pads. Then I go into spare part that I don't want people to come and complain when they buy. So I don't want to do any components
shoddy business.
No, compressor.
Okay.
Alternator that they can come.
No, you can't tell what is in there.
So I go for like brake pads, wheels, light components, just like that. I know lights, the brakes, so lights and like all this winding, the glass that used to wind, those things that you know that when you sell, they can't bring them back.
Okay.
So that will save you a lot of stress of going to get them and coming it's not working out. So I had about 300,000 to start all those things then. So and God has been good. So I've been getting okay.
So you have a shop?
So, yeah, I have a shop.
In Ladipo?
In Ladipo, yes.
Really?
And so and I started building this connect with integrity.
Bottom line,
integrity. So if I send you a market, I won't send you a bad thing. So that trust is there. So even though the person is in Lagos, I won't buy this part, let me get it. So it gives me the trust. Just give me the part, this your money. So I built all those things along the line. So it's helping very, very big.
Tommy, I always tell people that I'm not a wealthy person, I mean, in terms of cash, but the one thing I've got going for me, and by the grace of God, I will always have going for me, is my integrity, is my name. That's all I have. Once my name is on it, honestly,
a lot of people will just buy it.
You can go to sleep. Yes.
People will just buy it.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I told people yesterday that we're going to talk about viable options, for young people to make money is it has become a matter of worry for me as a person. When you ask a young person who just graduated from school or who is graduating from school, we have IT students here every time, and I get to interact with them. I ask them questions. So, how many staff do you really have in all of the media houses in Lagos? Lagos has the highest number of media houses in the country. So just look at it. How many people do you think they really have on staff? So we do a calculation with MITV. So we do MITV has 2 stations, a radio station and a television station. And we have maximum of 60 people on staff. So I'm like, plus freelance, plus everybody, you're looking at just about 60 people. So I ask the question, how many people are in your class? So the average person tells me 350, 300. The private school, maybe 150, 100. So I say, let's assume that we want to employ. Just imagine that you are in your class, you're in 300 level in this school. This newsroom has about 17 schools represented. All of you, let's assume you are just 100 each. That's 1,700 students graduating from your set.
One school.
No. I'm saying one set.
One set.
Of just one course.
One set, one school.
Of just one course.
Yes, that one course. One set. One school. Because there are other sets, the same course in other schools.
So now you're not looking at it. 1,700 people will come out. They will all go for service, and they were all expected to be employed. Now the question is, how many can these media houses really take?
Possibly.
Maximum 2 per set. What happens to the rest of you? So you have one of them that's already doing nails?
Is it 2 per set? 2 per, maybe 2 from across schools.
Across schools.
Yes.
Where is the money to even pay? When cost of running a business is really on the high side. So everybody is looking for opportunities not to employ more, rather overtask the ones that are there, or find a way to what's that thing they do, to subcontract some you know,
outsource
some parts of management to some people, or maybe your tech is handled by this company, and a lot of people are doing those things. And then you come back, you say, I'm looking for a job.
So what's your advice? What's your advice to the younger ones? I mean,
explore everything you can explore. That's like I like adventure. I sometimes, if I want to go to Ghana, like my friends are in Ghana, I go to just to take off some vacation. Even though I have money for a flight, I don't take flight. I'll go through the road. I like to explore, to see new things. And what can I do seeing this thing? What can this be of help to me, to my business? So explore. I have 2 cousins now. They graduated. I said, come. I know somebody that does iPhone. iPhone is the phone. Come again and learn it. The screen. They come to the guy and makes about 50K, 40K per day. What are you doing? You say you are looking for a job. 50K, 40K times 7, times 5, let's say times 5. How much is that? So after, because I went to put them, go and learn how to do iPhone repair.
And they just graduated.
So
fantastic.
I think you need to explore more things and just leave that mentality of I have to get a job after. Explore.
Yeah.
But how do you get these young people who are already lazy in their minds to now begin to explore? Because now this is a peculiar thing. I'm from a family that thinks. You are from a family that thinks. You raise kids that think. We have so many kids out there raising their parents.
True.
How do you get these kids to think?
So I think let's do some social reformation here. What do I say? Our mosques, churches, and maybe centers that I know young people go to. Let's start building from them. Let's start some integrity talk. Because that's every morning when I wake up then my father, I read this thing. You have this Isheni Ogunshi, Amura Sisha Remi and Dan like
Isheni then Muni then Giga.
Mark, refresh your Mark. So let's start with that and let them start preaching sincerity. Even in our mosques and churches now, going to Bible, the money is scattered. So it's fundamental, and then the parenting too. You can't
forget that one.
No, not because you have money, you buy an iPhone 14 for your 10-year-old kid. You're not doing her any good. You're not doing any good.
You remind me of Federal Government College Lagos. There was a day that I went there, and the students were just registering. So this parent came to register one of her children, but she already had a child in the hostel, so she'd sent for the child to let the child know she was around. The child came and took her phone and was with her phone. A teacher passed and saw the child with the phone. I said, you're not supposed to be holding phones. But because she was with her mother, she felt she had some sort of covering. And the teacher said, is that phone yours? If it's yours, I'm going to seize it. If it's your mother's, give it back to your mother now. So she gave it back to her mother. As soon as the teacher went past, she took the phone. The mother gave her the phone.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Told me, this happened in front of me.
Okay.
The mother gave her the phone back. Shortly after, about 5 minutes later, another teacher passed, saw her with the phone, and said the exact same thing. She gave the phone back to her mom. The mom collected the phone, and the teacher left. As soon as the teacher left, she didn't ask for the phone this time. The mother gave the phone back to her. At that point, I had to say something. I told the mother, I said, and we say we have a problematic generation. It starts with you. It starts with you. What you have, you think you are spoiling your child. You think you're loving your child. No, you're not.
You're spoiling the child.
You're destroying the child's future. That's
where there are rules and within the.
That's not love.
That's not love.
That's not love at all.
In any way. And
that's what they do. They come because they think they have some sort of affluence. If you had affluence, you would be in a federal government college. Go to the big private schools.
No, if you go to the big private school, please go to Covenant so that you can follow the rules. Where even a university student cannot come with a device that is not given to you by the school.
They still do. This generation, they will find a way.
They will improvise.
And their parents buy for them sometimes.
They will find a way.
And allow them to take it to school.
Yes, they will find a way. Even if their parents don't buy for them, they will save their pocket money and they will buy a phone for themselves.
You know, I have mentees in secondary schools across Lagos, public schools. And one of my mentees came one day. I know in school they're not supposed to have phones. So I saw her on Facebook. So while we're having the first interaction, I said, so you have a Facebook account, Abby? She was like, So I'm like, how do you get the phone? I was shocked. She said, 3 of our classmates, our friends, they came together, they contributed money in bits and pieces and bought an Android phone. Wow. So they bought this Android phone and I said, so where's the phone now? I wanted to collect the phone. She was like, I can't hold the phone now, I'm not the one with the phone. I'm like, oh, you don't hold the phone? She said, no, my mother will kill me. I can't hold the phone. So who holds the phone? The one with the loosest.
The one with the lowest. That's it. That's what will happen.
So of the 3 of them, one takes the phone home. And the other 2 don't go near the phone. They only use it during break time in school, and they upload things on their Facebook and all that. And I said to her, I said, your Facebook account, you're going to suspend it as long as you want to remain my mentee. And she agreed. And I said, if by the time, see, I have a problem. If you are my mentee for 1 year and you write WAEC and you write it twice, you stop being my mentee. If there is no improvement in your grades, you stop being my mentee. So I will first of all identify distractions for you, take it away.
And then you can concentrate.
Yeah. So that account, it's either you delete it or you suspend it. Yep. So she stopped uploading. And I said, that phone, I don't want to see it with you until the day you give me your JAMB results. Fortunately, after 7 months, she was my 2 mentees from Okwebi Senior Secondary School. Both of them became senior boy and senior girls.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And the boy had the best JAMB result in Lagos.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yes. The girl, she never knew she could pass JAMB.
Maybe I'll start directing students to YouTube video.
That's interesting.
It's so funny. When they brought the results, they're like, quickly telling, so we have a monitoring team that goes to the school, to go monitor and all that. So I said, I'm going to buy you books. So I keep giving them books to read. And they keep coming back to me. So I went to meet with them and I said, do me a favor. How do you have a library in your school that is locked up? And you have kids that are supposed to be reading. Expose their minds to literature. Let them read. So the school decided, they will be signed. I said, let them sign. When they don't return the book, don't allow them to borrow another.
Or there'll be a penalty.
As long as they're returning the book and they're taking it back, they're returning, let them keep reading.
Let them keep reading.
The girl had about 280 in JAMB. I call him my son now, Adam. He is in Unilag studying medicine. Wow. And the girl is also in Unilag. Wow. Nice. So that little girl who had a Facebook account, now she's not interested in Facebook. Now she's in uni. Adam is in uni. Both of them, when they wanted to pay school fees, they said, Mommy, our parents cannot. I said, don't worry. If I have to be contributing a susu, I will add my stipend to your education so you can go to that school. She wanted to go to Ahmadu Bello University. I said, all the way in Zaria. Igimumi, this Lagos, you'll be here.
Yeah,
but you see,
done.
it's very funny.
But
you can imagine the parent of the other child did not pass WAEC.
Obviously, that's what eventually happens. So we should stop blaming these children.
Not children are pretending that
it is what you give to them that they will take.
It's fundamental.
I mean, you said something. I expected it anyway. There's this thing you used to read. I don't know. But obviously, that's what they gave to you. Not today. From childhood. That's what you. It's still silly. It's there. So that's what you will give to
your own children.
It doesn't even have to be your children.
And the people that surround you.
Yes, the people around you. That's what you will give to them. Because you have it.
Let's talk to parents, because we're rounding off this conversation now. Like I said earlier, children are now raising their parents. They now tell the parents what they want, and the parents take it like that. Speak to parents who have this idea of, I want my child to be in this very posh, and they think they're raising a very posh kid.
What's your advice to them?
Yeah, I'll just bring a role model for them, for ladies actually. Look at the former finance minister.
Kemi Adeosun.
The worst one, the former one.
Oh, okay. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
See, she just puts on her scarf like that.
Simplicity.
Our young ladies wants to buy the biggest and our parents to buy it for them. But look at, you have like a bimbo, you have a fine look but an empty skull. So I think our parents should start.
You need to talk a little louder.
Okay.
Maybe take it again because that's
Okay.
very
That's very important.
Okay.
Yes.
I said I'll give 2 examples here. Like Kemi Adeosun and Ngozi. I want to use Ngozi, Mrs. Ngozi, from the former finance minister. I look at she does dresses, puts her agili, and she has a lot upstairs. I think our parents, like, we should use that to bring up our child. Like, it's not about the facial look. You want to put all the Brazilian hair and give them all these things. Let them sit down, let them look at good role models and talk sense into their head. It's not about being, I'm not saying you should not buy all those hair, but know what you're doing. Be disciplined. Give them discipline, give them integrity while they are young. Don't just say, I have money, I have to give. I have friends that their dad, wow, stinkingly rich. But this guy, I know him in secondary school. Let me give you again. He lost his glasses. Like, his dad came down from home and came to our hostel to come and search for the glasses. We are like, is that not Folu's dad? The rich man that can buy just a glass.
A replacement.
He said he wants to come and search for that. He has to search for it. This is discipline.
With that discipline, I'm not quite in agreement. I'm not what I would have done is give him an ultimatum.
Look for that glasses.
Look for the glasses yourself.
No, I think he already did. He said he could not find, but the dad just wanted to come and verify that he has to look for it by himself. That's discipline too.
And then at the end, did he find it?
Did the father find it?
I didn't get the story. But I know the father.
But he didn't buy him another pair.
He didn't buy another pair. But I know the father came to our hostel and sat with the son and gave him some kind of scolding and all those things. So what I'm trying to say is that let's give our children role. Let's sit them down, give them good role models, not just because we are exposed to a lot of things. That's just it.
Yeah,
almost on a daily basis.
Yeah. So we need to get closer to them and give them more bring of nurturing. So that's my advice to parents. Don't just leave your kids
to grow.
Grow with them. Instill them discipline, integrity, and good manners. This will help them in the future. It has helped a lot. So that's my own take and my advice for parents.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure having you on the show. I can say that.
Indeed. I have learned a lot from you. I never stop learning. We never stop learning. And knowledge is power. I hope you know that. So I've learned a lot from you, and thank you for coming on the show.
You've opened my mind to opportunities this morning that may necessarily be staring at us in the face, and you never may see them. Thank you so much for being with us on the Bumper Breakfast. Tomorrow, do you run it?
Oh, well, for me, it's a new year, new opportunities. There's a lot of hope for me in the air, and I hope that it's the same for you. Whatever it is that you faced that's not too palatable in the beginning of the year, just put that behind you and move on, because this year promises to be a wonderful year. Thank you for being with us on the program today. It's been my pleasure being here on the Bumper Breakfast Show, and I hope to see you again on my next appearance.
All right, as we say bye-bye, our friend, the director, the general manager of the Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs, Dare Ogudairo, adds another year today. Today is your birthday, Dare, and I know you're always here with us on the show. You're regular on the show. We have to celebrate you. Now you call me sweetheart now, so I have to say happy birthday to you, Dare. God will continue to increase you more and more, increase your wisdom in handling, the assignment that has been committed into your hands. And of course, special birthday wishes and special, she asked me to put special birthday greetings also coming from YK. She said, Happy birthday. She said, mwah, 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 mwah. So enjoy your day. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Bumper Breakfast. You have a lovely, lovely
Papa, mama, brother, sister. This Lagos must work for all of us. Everybody jà fún Èkó.
Oh yes, Lagos people, papa, mama, sister, brother, auntie, plus including uncle them. Better don land for Lagos State gidigba. Money wey be for Lagos State, dem go use am for Lagos State wella. No more baba sope. Dem no go chop Lagos State money. Nobody go pocket Lagos State. Dem go take am build Lagos State, build road, build hospital, build houses, and na only one man fit do this job. Him name na Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor. He come carry one ogbonge person as the deputy governor. Her name na Funke Akindele. My people, wetin we dey wait for? Make we vote for light, vote for change. No be the kind change wey dem vote before. This one na the original change. How Amumu don do? Pay dey pay.
Everybody jà fún Èkó.